Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dope People's podcast, where I let you in on my world and what is going on inside my psyche. I'm always going to show up without a plan. At least that's how I feel about it right now. With the intention of sharing just what I'm going through and what is going on inside my mind. And today, I am bringing a bit of a different energy, obviously, because I feel different every single day or depending on the moment. And I find myself to be equipped with three little friends in my sweater's pocket. I have those three little crystals that are kind of bringing comfort to me because it's not a really warm day and I just need extra comfort. I need comfort not just like weather-wise in my body. I also need comfort like emotionally. You guys ever feel that way? I have coffee to bring me comfort today. And the reason why I need comfort emotionally right now is because I keep getting the same message this morning. And the more I resist this message, the more it's causing me to feel antsy and kind of almost feels like anxiety. Because I am being asked to do the things that are uncomfortable. I shared on my first recording that one of my greatest fears was public speaking and expressing what is going on in my experience, just using my voice. And although I enjoy sharing ideas and I love having conversations with people, the one thing that gets in the way is my mind and the judgments I impose on myself, which is why I keep doing this practice of just showing up authentically and just releasing expectations that I place upon myself. And it's a constant practice. Anybody else out there is actively working on this, releasing judgment of themselves? The thing is that my ego will tell me so many stories and will make up so many things that will keep me from hearing what is of true value, which is always in my heart. So it's really important for me to put that aside and just do this practice of showing up as is. And I think the more I do this, the more natural it's going to become. But I don't need practice to speak. We've been talking since we were children. It's just the conditioning we go through that makes us judge ourselves. And the judgment that we place upon ourselves, it varies also throughout the day, depending on our mood, our emotion. And this morning I got a message, I think I went on YouTube, and sometimes, you get those recommendations of what you should watch. And in one of the videos I watched, at the end of it, it said one thing. It talked about our North Star and what is our purpose here on earth? Because I guess that's a question we all ask ourselves. Like, what am I here for? What are my gifts? And it said that we should ask ourselves about the one thing we have been avoiding. What is one thing we've been avoiding? And the one thing I'm avoiding most is doing this podcast thing that I've been really delaying on, that I've been putting away because I felt like I wasn't ready yet, as if my voice had to become something or something had to change. It's always about the mind. It's always about what's going on inside the mind. And um today I'm experiencing a lot of judgment of self. I'm like, I can pick at a million things, but those are all, you can't believe everything your mind says. You can't believe your thoughts. For the ones I don't know if this is coming as some news or what, but don't believe your thoughts. They've got so many things to say. I've been learning a lot about that. I've been learning a lot about discerning the voices in my mind and figuring out which ones are of me and which ones are from society and from family. And what I realize is that, well, our brain is really just this filtering machine. Literally, that's all it is. It's like a radio that's attuning to frequencies, and according to our frequency is it filters the thoughts that kind of vibrate to that wavelength. And that's the way we receive information, we receive data. So on days where we don't feel as energized, that means our frequency is like lower. Our thoughts are also calibrating to that wavelength. And then we can also, so our thoughts are influenced by how we feel, and then it also goes the opposite way, where how we feel is a product of our thoughts. And by elevating our thoughts, we can feel so much better. So maybe I just need to take a moment and elevate my thoughts. And there are ways of doing this. I personally enjoy music and other sorts of plant medicines that sometimes make my experience more enjoyable. Although lately, that hasn't been so helpful. It's been causing more paranoia and overthinking. So, yeah, that's my radio tuning right now. And then I judge myself because I'm like, this is not pleasant for people to listen to. And I want to be bringing some good vibes. But at the same time, I can only provide what I am in the moment, what I'm experiencing. And this is it right now. Ah, this is it. This is me. Is anybody else drinking something comforting out there? So many thoughts come to mind. Honestly, it's like there's a million thoughts that goes inside my mind, and if I try and pick and choose one, it's not working. It doesn't work that way. You know what I see a lot is this holographic perspective. And that's what I was shown this morning. So, picture being in the middle of a sphere, and all around you are these like mirrors all around. So, you're inside that sphere, and if you look one way, then you get reflected this one image. If you look the other way, well, you always have yourself being reflected to you. But that's what I see a lot of the time. And this morning, I was still pondering on the theme of home and the quest for a place that feels like home. And I'm recording this from my childhood place, the place where I grew up, which one would call home. But ultimately, the home we have is our body, and that's the picture I was shown today. I was shown a body of energy in which every cell casts this light around like so brightly, and it creates this holographic perspective, this holographic sphere all around. There's also a word for this. Some people call this the Merkaba. It's this, or I think it's also called the aura. I don't know if I'm mixing up all the words, but it's this sphere around us. And if you probably notice when you use your camera now, you can see it. You can see it in the camera, the sphere of light, and we see so many more orbs around us as well. So it's really amazing how we can perceive light in a new way now. And this has to do with big cosmic changes that are going on Earth right now, because Earth is currently going through a photon belt. I think that's how they say. That is really altering everything on Earth. Like, the amounts of photons touching the Earth has been completely different since it's been like a year or two, pretty much since lockdown started around that time. And it came with obviously lots of realizations for us, because literally there's more light on Earth for us to see better, to see within ourselves. So that's what I was shown this morning. I was shown the cells of my body emitting this light, and I'm being reminded of this holographic perspective of the universe, which is also linked with there's this great book by Michael Talbot about the holographic universe that kind of explains how the experience we're having is within this hologram, that we are kind of a prism. Think of the Led Zeppelin logo, a prism through which light is cast, and it emits light, and we create our perspective through ourselves, our cells. So I've been reminded of this knowing that the home is always within the body. And then I received this message about the importance of doing the things that we are afraid of, and finding purpose in the very thing we've been resisting all along. Do you understand the depth of this? It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, because that is self-transcendence. To go right where your fear is, and the darkness where you've been avoiding to go, where the places you've been resisting, and to just go through it and come out the other side and be like, well, yeah, I survived, and now I see better. I see what was there, and it's beautiful, but you have to go through it. So I'm kind of part of me wants to say I'm pushing myself to do this right now, but really it's like, it's more of a surrender thing. Like, I have to surrender to it, because I keep getting the message and it's making me feel like I'm avoiding something if I'm not doing it. Can you guys hear the bird? I'm curious about, what are your fears? Is there one thing you fear most in this lifetime? What are you terrified of? And can we kind of support each other as we face our fears and let ourselves explore places that we haven't explored yet, that we didn't dare explore because we didn't think it was safe? And that is a very big topic. That's a very trendy topic right now, the topic of safety. I don't think I have to explain this. There's definitely a preconception right now that we must remain safe in this lifetime, that we must follow specific rules in order to remain in some sort of safety, as if we had control over what goes on around us. Like, who came up with this? uh, we have influence on what goes on around us. Definitely. We can change a lot of things around us. We are extremely powerful. But also, the one thing we have control over is ourselves and our response to the things around us. And there's also another thing I learned, is that, as I spoke in the first episode, change is the only constant and it's always happening. And as much as we can instigate change by putting ourselves in momentum when we are stagnant, it's really something that happens naturally and effortlessly. We don't have to force change to happen. It's just part of nature. So it goes back to the surrendering to the experience. I've been learning a lot about surrender. I learned a lot about it. And I have a lot more to learn. So much more. I wonder how many people out there actively and consciously work on being compassionate towards themselves. I think that, from what I hear, a lot of people tend to be very judgmental of what goes on around them. That's not my thing. I struggle with the latter. So if it's not judging the things around, it's judging self. Because I take full responsibility for my reality. I take full responsibility for what I create, for my experience. So, as I was telling a family member yesterday, my eyes are very much turned inwards. It's just how I process things. And it causes me to be very analytical, And it's caused me a lot of suffering in the past, like so much suffering. And the biggest lesson I learned so far about getting ourselves out of suffering is really releasing expectations and ideas of how things should be or could be, and allowing them to be as they are and finding beauty in that. And it's not always easy. It's not easy to see beauty in a place when your heart feels so dark. And I'm not talking about me specifically in this situation. I'm just talking about probably the state of many hearts out there. It's not that they are so dark. The heart is always pure. It's just that we build all those walls around it, and it keeps us from hearing its wisdom. In order to hear its wisdom, you have to feel into it. And I've noticed myself starting to build up those walls again. Recently, I was doing that. I have felt kind of apathetic for a few days, and that tells me that I wasn't feeling into something. And, well, it makes me wonder about the processes that allow for us to put those walls down, break those walls. And I think that's where we have to be very compassionate towards ourselves and very patient, because picture that we're all kind of like puzzles, and every cell is like a puzzle piece, and every cell is encoded with information, and it's only accessible when you feel it. That's when I feel most in my power, when I feel myself, when I can feel my body, and I know what's going on. And I don't have to think in those moments because I'm just purely feeling. And that's so beautiful to me. I love that. That's like the flow state. And it's called the flow state for a reason. When we're in the flow state, energy is moving through our body effortlessly, like this. Just like water. So today is very much about releasing judgment of self. And letting myself be seen in this moment as I'm judging myself. Hey, what's up? I'm judging myself today. Why? I think that I am currently being trained for something. Secrets. um, yeah. I've spoken on purpose yesterday, and it's a topic that is still on my heart because I've been kind of reminded of my mission, which is to let myself be seen and to expose myself fully, our very presence here has purpose. Like, everybody's here on earth for a reason. In case you didn't know that, you weren't born for some random reason, just found yourself here. No, like, your existence is meaningful. You hold a frequency that speaks of your natural state. And that frequency is so unique to you. And the way I picture the whole experience of us being here on earth is like we all have a frequency that is authentic to us. And when we tune into that frequency, where the energy is flowing effortlessly, if we all do that, then we harmonize with everything. So it's a matter of doing the things that are most natural to us, getting ourselves in a state that feels so good and authentic and true to ourselves. And in that state, we vibrate at the frequency that is harmonious to ourselves and that is attuned with nature and all of life. If you look at the animals around, if you look at the trees, at everything is kind of in this dance. There's harmony around. It's like a great symphony. But if you go inside a city where there's no nature, nothing like that, it's a different rhythm. It's a very fast rhythm for the most part, and there's a lot of chaos, and it causes the nervous system to be in a sympathetic state where we kind of lose touch with our unique and aligned frequency. It's kind of fun exploring the ways and the tools that we can use in order to get ourselves back in a state of what we can also call homeostasis, where our body is thriving in its most optimal state. That's when the healing happens. Obviously, our cells are regenerating and the healing happens while we sleep. But homeostasis really is that sacred state of balance. A little cold outside. Hands are, wanting to hide. Balance is a big theme today. It is every day. And I think we also just started a period of a Libra energy with the last moon or equinox. Anyone else into astrology here? So I don't know if you guys are into how the stars are reflecting the movements of life on Earth and how connected we are. But there's definitely this kind of energy that speaks of balance right now. And I'm experiencing it in my reality with just how I was speaking of wanting to find home and kind of asking myself what to do. And I come to realize that in order to find balance, I need to make peace with where I think I should be and where I currently am, and come to this present moment again and acknowledge the incredible gift it is to simply be right now. You guys realize this? Like, we're alive, we're here on Earth, we're breathing. Isn't that sort of incredible? It's so simple and incredible. Now, I'm not going to be repeating that all the time. Just bear with me because, like I said, I'm working through my own stuff. I'm needing to be so compassionate. There's a million topics I could talk about. I think what would be cool to do right now, and I just noticed that my laptop is on really low battery, would be to invite you guys to share any questions you have for me that I can at least look at and see if there's anything that I intend to open up. That's my intention here. My intention is to be fully transparent and true. So, if you have specific questions for me and things you wonder about my story, about my opinions on things, although, yeah, I guess I do have opinions sometimes or ideas. I invite you to share them here. I'm gonna be connecting with people in the future and actually having conversations with people. That'll be really cool. But for now, it's been 30 minutes right now of me holding myself through my own resistance when I am specifically being asked to show up in the public eye. What's up? In my most authentic states. So that means we're gonna witness some discomfort. We're gonna witness some highs and lows and all of the states. So I hope you're up for the ride, because we're stepping in the unknown every single time. And, well, I know I'm willing to explore. um, I would like to send so much blessings your way. May we see the miracles unfold today. May we witness all the miracles of life around us. May we see magic in everything. May we receive all that is meant for us easily and effortlessly. May we remember the abundance that flows through us. May we remember the abundant flow of life that circulates through all. And may we remain in gratitude with every single moment. Thank you for listening, just for being here. Today you're holding space for me. Maybe another day I hold space for you. Please don't worry about me. Like, don't. I'm good. I'm really good. Like, everything's good. I'm just judging myself a little bit today. But that's fine. I'm also holding myself in this. Loving all of it. All of it. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself some self-love. We all need it. My laptop is low battery. I'm gonna stop this now. I'm gonna send you so much love. Thank you for being here. I love you, people. I love you so much. And I wish you a beautiful day. Thank you.